In 1 hour after that coherence healing, he comes back to consciousness.
Wow.
Now, that's the extension of where we're going. You see.
Hello and welcome to the Pacific Channel, where you learn how to be, do, and have whatever you want through the power of the law of attraction, meditation, and more. I'm your host, Steve Doherty. Today's audio clip is about healing circles and relationships. Regarding the healing circles, basically Dr. Joe's community has started to work together to form healing circles that work for free to heal others. Dr. Joe says that a few children's hospitals are interested in their work and that it's the next logical step after healing yourself. In this clip, Dr. Joe talks about how to do it and how it works. One of his main points is that in the Newtonian 3D world, you would say that whoever you are working on to heal should be with you. But because we are all connected to one another in the quantum field, and because there is no separation, we don't even need to have the person in our presence to help heal them. So if you haven't heard anything about this before, it can seem quite unbelievable. But to give you more confidence that it is possible, I'd like to tell you about something that really opened my eyes to the possibility. Years ago, Greg Braden, one of Dr. Joe's friends and another great guy who also bridges the gap between the scientific world and the spiritual, gave seminars in front of hundreds of people about the power of our hearts to heal others. In these seminars, he played an older video from the early 1990s about a woman who had what westernized doctors called a cancerous inoperable tumor on her bladder. This tumor was 3 inches wide. The doctors told her there was nothing that they could do for her. So somehow she discovered a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China, where Qigong masters were healing people with just the power of their heart energy. The people who filmed this were literally risking their lives to film it. If you want to find it, go to Google and search for "Cancer Cured in 3 Minutes, Greg Braden." For some reason, if you search for it directly on YouTube with those exact same keywords, it no longer appears. Picture this. This woman was on what looked like a regular hospital bed, and she was hooked up to an ultrasound device with 2 monitors. One monitor showed the tumor as it was when they started the healing procedure, and the other one showed the tumor in real time. The 3 Qigong masters gathered around this woman and began to chant a couple words that sounded like "Wasa, Wasa, Wasa." They all stood over this patient and chanted these words that loosely translated means "already healed, already healed, already healed." They held their hands out toward this woman and kept on chanting. Soon after, the tumor began to shrink and shrink and shrink some more. Within 3 minutes, the tumor was completely gone. I was so impressed by this that I tracked down one of the Qigong masters who worked at that hospital, Ming Tong Gu, and talked to him about it on a radio show that he was on in 2015. My question to him was, does healing work better when 2 or more are gathered together to do the healing? His answer was yes. The point is, healing others is totally possible. And as Dr. Joe said, we don't even have to be there because there is no separation. Separation is the illusion. Let's listen to this clip where Dr. Joe talks about group healing and relationships.
The creative moment is when you get beyond yourself, when you dissociate from everything known in your material world. Turns out when you do that and you start changing your brainwaves slow down into alpha and theta, you're suppressing the memory bank of the known self that keeps you plugged into 3-dimensional reality. When you quiet down this mechanism, now all of a sudden you start connecting to that field. And when you can stay conscious in those subconscious realms, when you can literally regulate and change brainwaves, now you're in the operating system where you can make those significant changes. So we now know that when people apply the formula and they do that properly, now they're walking through that door where they're ready to create from. In other words, you can't create from the known. You can't create with your body. That's matter trying to change matter. And you can do it, it's just going to take a long time.
Right.
But when you create from the field instead of from matter, there's a whole different set of dynamics that takes place. And why not push that envelope to see, okay, if we've done this, is it possible to do this? As an example, We do these wonderful healing circles where you see these dramatic, instantaneous changes. So the person who's healed themselves of some health condition, when it comes time to heal somebody else, they're going to say, well, now I understand the science, I understand how this all works, I know how to get beyond myself, I know how to open my heart. They start piecing it all together. Let's take the formula to the next level. Now they witness a significant change in a person's body in real time, right there. So then the next question is, okay, like this happened many times. As an example, the woman who was at the event in Mallorca, Spain, her brother had a massive stroke in Colombia, and she went back to Colombia, and he was in a coma for 2 weeks. She called up the healing circle and said, hey, can we do a healing on my brother? Now, if you're playing by the rules of Newtonian physics, three-dimensional reality, you're going to say, well, you need to be in front of the guy in order to heal him. But if you understand there's no separation in the quantum, that everything's connected when you're in that place, so wouldn't that be the next application of the formula? So they go over the science, they get it. Okay, we just need a picture of him, and that's our coordinate. And if we're in the field,
sending a frequency to that coordinate.
Yeah, but you're not sending it anywhere because there's nowhere to send. There's no space and time there. You're connecting to it, exactly. That's a great way to say it. In 1 hour after that coherence healing, he comes back to consciousness.
Wow.
Now, that's the extension of where we're going. You see, now we're progressing. A woman who was in one coherence healing group was a pediatric nurse in Children's Hospital in Seattle, and again witnessed the amazing miracle after our event in Toronto. She comes back, and there's they call them friends, there's a little guy failing. Doctors hit him with the paddles, they use all the drugs to bring him back, and they walk out of the room, and they say, we lost him. She walks over, puts her hands right in the field, and this kid comes right back online. Wow. Doctors are like, what was that? And now, so we have a lot of our interest now is, I want to get 50%. 1 out of 2 people, we're collecting the data in this coherence healings. When we're 50%, we're going to walk into a children's hospital, and we have 3 children's hospitals right now that are interested in us. We'll show them the data, we'll show them the results, we'll say we don't want any money, we'll never even touch the kids, all we want to do is just change their lives. And when we're 50%, we're going to start doing it in children's hospitals, and we're gathering the data right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, what else would we want to do with it, right?
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people are unhappy in relationships.
Yeah. Here's my theory.
They're like, a lot of them are failing. I don't want to put that as a general thing, because there's a lot of happy relationships as well. But for people that are mission driven, how much more challenging is it to have a thriving relationship when you put your life into a mission?
No, here's the deal. I will never work in a relationship. I just won't. If I'm working in a relationship, something's wrong. I'll work on me. I'll bring my best. You bring your best, and we get together and we celebrate.
And it should work.
It should work. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to step back and see, what is it about me? Not you. What is it about me that I need to really look at and change? Now, if there's a vibrational match and it flows and it's fun and you connect on physically, mentally, mind, body, soul, that's cool. I think that's healthy. But a mission-driven person can't be in a relationship where you have to keep going back and trying to fix something. I just won't do that. I just think that when it's right, and I'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think that relationships can be easy, and I do think and I think that they should be. And I think that if you're heart-centered, that's a different place you meet than other emotions. And again, every time I have a mystical moment, and I feel that transcendental love that I don't even know the word for, every time I have one of those moments, I think I got this all wrong. It's just that it is not chemical; it's electric. And
you got what all wrong?
Well, the way we view the world, the way we don't see things how they are, we see things how we are, and every inner experience that's transcendental, experience enriches circuitry in your brain. Experience produces emotion or energy in the body. So you start having transcendental moments where you start connecting to that field. Its signature is love. But not love like a love for your puppy. This is like an arousal. This is, I don't know the other word, but bliss.
Spiritual arousal.
So, yeah, and we have the evidence. We can say, oh, watch this person's brain. And scientists are studying our work. I'll say, oh, watch, she's going to pop in a few minutes. What do you mean? Just watch, she's going to pop. And all of a sudden, this person goes into an arousal. The sympathetic nervous system is so switched on, but the arousal isn't like an arousal that from the environment that produces anger, or aggression, or fear, or anxiety, or pain, or suffering. That's survival in the environment that produces the arousal. This arousal is coming from energy in the body that's moving up into the brain, and the arousal is bliss. The arousal is ecstasy. The arousal is
freedom, peace.
Oof, but it's not chemical. It's you'll feel it in every single cell in your body. Now here's the outcome of that. The outcome of that is that when you open your eyes and some conditioning, some layer has been removed, your spectrum of the way the world looks broadens now, because now you're wired to perceive what's always existed, but you didn't have the circuits in place to perceive them. So then it's the inner experience that literally transforms our experience of the outer world. And so when you start having moments where you hit that kind of frequency, or you have those moments of love, you're less dependent on anyone to bring you happiness. Yeah. You're okay. You can love the person for their flaws, because you can see a part of yourself you used to be that you no longer are. And instead of judgment, you have compassion, and you can encourage and communicate from a level of connection instead of intimidation or competition, or however relationships work. So I do think that it's energy and vibration, and I think that in our community, at least, people who have relationships that are built from our community tend to be more long-lasting, because they're more self-aware. Yeah. And so there's no blame, there's no excuses, there's no make wrong, there's no competition, there's none of that. There's just, this is who I am, you know? And I think that the ultimate goal is when you reach the point in your life when how you appear to the world is who you really are. That level of transparency it takes no effort. Right. You can be yourself, and you know, people say to me, wow, you're pretty approachable. And I say, well, God, I work so hard every day on overcoming myself in the morning, overcoming my ego. Yeah. Why would I want to build it up the next day? Because I got to face that guy again tomorrow morning. So why not just keep, you know, taking those edges and smoothing them down, so that you're less unconscious to all of those programs that are built in relationships.
So in this clip, we sort of jump from healing to relationships. But let's discuss the healing part first. Dr. Joe's healing circle apparently helped a man come out of a coma, and a pediatric nurse in a children's hospital in Seattle helped a boy come back to life. This may sound unbelievable, but when you experience some of these miracles right in front of you, it becomes easier and easier to believe. I don't know what the pediatric nurse did exactly, but if she used her hands, she may have been using Qigong or Reiki or something else that she learned from Dr. Joe or others. Personally, I have seen many miracles happen right before my eyes, and I wouldn't have believed it unless I was right there to see it myself. When friends of mine found out that I was having some success, they asked me to help heal others who were in the hospital, and usually it worked, but not all the time. I think that's what Dr. Joe wants to figure out. How can we get it to work every single time, right? When you understand how the universe works, how the law of attraction works, energy healing, and the power we have after we get our brain and hearts into coherence, you start to believe that anything is truly possible. You are not some random accident of a being aimlessly roaming the earth due to chance. You are a creator. You are a piece of the divine. You are the creator of your experience. You are here to discover who you really are and the true power that you have to create your own reality. And this means that if you want perfect health, you can have it. If you want your dream house, dream car, or dream relationship, you can have it. It doesn't matter what you want. You can have it. The other thing that Lewis Howe and Dr. Joe talk about in this video is relationships. One of the things that Dr. Joe says about relationships is that it shouldn't be something that is difficult, hard, or something that you have to work on. If that's the case, it may be best to just move on. He also says that when you do this work, it helps you to be less dependent on anyone else to bring you happiness. Most of us want a relationship so that we can be happy. That's implicitly saying to the universe that you can't be happy unless you have this or that, unless you have that perfect relationship. And that's where we get stuck in a conundrum. If you can't be happy unless you have the perfect relationship, but the only way to attract a happy relationship is to be happy first, then you're stuck in a catch-22 situation. It will never happen. This is why you must be happy regardless of whether or not your dream relationship is here yet. Dr. Joe also says that the ultimate goal is when you reach the point in your life when how you appear to the world is who you really are. The reason why that is so important is that to get to that place, you must unconditionally love yourself and feel worthy. When you love yourself first, you'll attract the perfect love. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share it. Share it with someone you know who may need some encouragement regarding their physical illness, or someone who is looking for a rewarding relationship, but who is struggling. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, have a great day or night.
Christmas is coming, and we would love to give back to our Pacific family. We are offering 2 lucky winners a ticket to Dr. Joe Dispenza's week-long retreat in Cartagena, Colombia, Co., worth $2,300 each. To enter the giveaway, you must be a subscriber to our channel Pacific. Like this video, comment your manifestation goals for the year 2023, share this video with any 5 people, and stay tuned on our channel as we will declare the winner soon. Please refer to the description below for more info. Good luck!